Alright, what's up guys, it's Melon here back with another video. And today I'm going to be doing another story time, and as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be telling you guys about the time a girl I went to school with vandalized my best friend's dad's truck. So real quick, I just want to say, if you guys aren't subscribed, please do, because we are very close to 100 subscribers, and when we get to 100 subscribers, I will be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card, as well as 2 passes to my Discord, and I will drop some new merch. So subscribe if you want to have a chance at any of those. But either way, let's get right into this story time. So this story time takes place about 2.5 years ago, and there was a girl that I knew, so let's just call her Elizabeth. And now Elizabeth wasn't the best person. She was always in ISS, or even in like a detention center. For as long as I knew her, she was always in those. And I'm gonna explain that the person that was in the last video, the quad video, he was actually the guy that got attacked, in quotes, or this happened to him. I was just kind of like a witness. So again, his name was Brandon, or that's his storytime name. So Brandon's dad was a pretty chill person, right? He wasn't like crazy or anything, crazy strict or anything. He was a pretty chill dude. And I'm gonna explain that he had a white truck, okay? And it was a pretty nice white truck. And so one day, me and Brandon are just chilling over at my grandparents' place. We just got out of school. I think it was a Thursday or maybe a Friday. So we just got home from school. We were chilling over at my grandparents' place, and I saw that there was a can of spray paint on like the window ledge of my grandparents' house, and I was like, you know what? I can put this to use or something. I can spray paint something. And so I can't remember what we spray painted, but I do remember that Elizabeth was like helping me. And so I get done and I put it back on the windowsill, and I think we were going over to Brandon's place, and I think that Brandon told Elizabeth that she couldn't come over to his house for whatever reason. I can't remember. And so she got mad at him. And so me and him, we thought that Elizabeth went down to her parents' house down the hill. But what we didn't know is while we were on our way to his house, she was actually going back and getting that spray paint can. So we walk into his house, and as we're walking in, I hear that iconic sound of the rattle of the little ball in the spray paint can. You know, that iconic sound where it's shaking around in there. And so we ran in, and I go straight to Brandon's dad. I'm like, hey, you know, I think Elizabeth might have just sprayed something, like spray painted something outside of your house. She was mad at Brandon and us, or sorry, Brandon and I. And so I heard the spray paint noise, and I think she's out there spray painting something. So he was like, all right, let's go see. And so we go out there, and sure enough, we catch her in the act. She's sitting there spray painting with this very dark blue spray paint on his nice white truck, okay? And so she takes off, and I would draw on screen right now what she spray painted, but the video would probably get taken down by YouTube, and I don't want that to happen. But you can probably guess what she spray painted on there. It was some pretty explicit stuff. But she took off, and she just went to her parents' house. And he was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna call the police and get them over here and see what we can do. And so he called the police. He didn't call 911 directly. He had a friend that was a police officer, so he called, I think it was a woman, I don't know, it could have been a male, but anyway, I'm just gonna call him or her a him. So he called him. He was like, hey, we just caught somebody from our neighborhood spray painting my truck, can you come help us out? And he's like, all right. And so I forgot to tell, but when Elizabeth took off, she threw the spray paint can over by like this telephone pole, or like this electricity pole. And so the police officer gets there, and he's like, all right, so do you have like any proof? And he was like, yeah, we walked out here and she was just sitting there spray painting my truck. And so he was like, do you have the spray paint can? And we were looking around for it, and we found it by the pole. And so he's like, alright, well, I'm going to run this for fingerprints, and then I'm going to scan, you know, everybody here. And at this point I was freaking out, right? I was like, oh man, my fingerprints are going to come up there. You know, I was using it for whatever I was spray painting earlier. And the cop, okay, so I told Brandon's dad, I was like, you know what, I was using the spray paint, and so my fingerprints are going to come up on there too. And he was like, well, I know you didn't do that. You were the one that came in here. You know, we watched her do it, and I know you wouldn't do anything like that. You're Brandon's friend. I was like, yeah. And so she scans it, and she finds Elizabeth's fingerprints and mine, and so we, he called Elizabeth's parents. She didn't answer, and I was like, you know what, I can just call her directly since I had her number. And so I called her, and she didn't pick up, and she was actually walking around my grandparents' neighborhood. And so she comes back around to Brandon's house, and she's just, you know, acting like, you know, I'm just minding my own business. And then the police officer calls her over there. He was like, hey, can you come over here for a second? And so the cop was like, hey, did you spray paint this? And of course she played the play dumb, you know, response. And so we were all just sitting there, and I don't remember what happened, but I think the police officer showed her that they had their her fingerprints, and so I think the total for fixing the paint on the truck was around about somewhere by $1,000. And the bad thing was, Elizabeth's parents or her, they didn't have to pay for it, which I don't see why, since she spray painted it, but they never paid for it. And that was pretty much the end of that story. The moral of this story is, don't be dumb. Don't, you know, destroy other people's property, especially vandalizing it with spray paint, and then not pay them after. But yeah, that's about it for this story. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe. But this has been Melon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.